Today, it's about 3 degrees Celsius in New York. It's cold. I know, I rode my bicycle here. Well, it wasn't my bicycle, but you get the point. It feels well below freezing. On days like that, I start to think about changes of scenery. Fromers has just put out its top destinations for 2025. The list includes Ghent in Belgium, which is a beautiful place. There it's a mild 11 Celsius. And then Osaka in Japan, where, of course, as you'll be well familiar, I visited in June and tried my first takoyaki, those fried dough balls that are filled with octopus and are boiling hot. How hot is it?
It's really hot.
Too hot to eat?
Maybe. Just be careful. Not whole thing. You ate whole thing? No, it's hot.
Pauline's with me, Pauline Fromer's with me. She's the editorial director of Fromer's Guidebooks and the co-president of Fromer Media. I look at the list and it's interesting, the list. What was your guiding principles for it this year?
Well, there are Fromer journalists around the planet, and so we asked them what destinations will be most visit-worthy in 2025. So, for example, what will be a place that's suddenly accessible that was hard to get to before, or is going to be much less expensive than it used to be, like Japan, like Osaka, because the Japanese yen is so weak, or is going to have an incredible celebration with lots of events that will make it worth going to. So one of the places we picked, believe it or not, is Greenland. Greenland's airport is finally going to be big enough for large jets. And so for the first time pretty much ever, there are going to be commercial flights regularly going from many parts of Europe, from New York, and you're going to be able to go to this country where 80% of it is covered with a thick layer of ice, a kind of ecosystem that's becoming very rare, sadly, in this time of climate change.
We've talked about it on this programme, the Greenland, the new Nuuk Airport. And the way United Airlines is one of the first. We had Patrick Quell from United talking about it. Let me ask you, though, this is an interesting one because the issue of new destinations and this search that we're all trying to find the place that nobody else has gone to, for good reasons, but over-tourism. I do not see any satisfactory solutions yet. Post-pandemic, which I believe was a missed opportunity to put in place certain policies to deal with these in some cases. How concerned are you about it?
I'm very concerned with over-tourism. If you go to a place in Spain, for example, you're going to be shot at with water guns and made to feel not welcome. But more than that, you could be damaging the local economies and the infrastructures. When you have Airbnb, for example, taking over the housing stock. And so we actually made the last part of our list, which you can see at fromers.com/bestplaces2025, the last pick is the town next door. Often there are really great destinations that are right next to the iconic destination, and while the iconic destination is getting overloved, the next door place is just as interesting but gets no tourism. So that might be a solution.
That's a fascinating way of doing it, to disperse the people. May I just sort of say, your late father, of course, was who I had the privilege of interviewing. I mean, Fromer's the guide. If I have a love of travel and have been a travel correspondent for some years, it's largely because of people like your late father and who gave us that love. I mean, yeah, all right, so you can have an app, but there's nothing like one of these. There's nothing that you can make a note on. You can thumb it. You can spill coffee on it.
That are created by actual journalists. You have a media landscape right now where so many people are getting their information online, but 90% of what you read online is marketing. It's not journalism. And so our books are written by journalists.
And you will find spaghetti and every other bit of food I've eaten all over my copies. I'm grateful to you. Thank you so much. It's Questions Business.